ask yourself the damn question. Is winning the only thing we do?
Sports today are not just played on the field. They're played every day, online, all over the world, by sports fans just like you.
Don't you dare breathe. That won't get you anywhere. If you don't think you're a winner, you don't belong here.
The Star Fantasy League Show puts you in control of your own team. Find out who to sit, who to start, how to play, and have your daily fantasy sports questions answered with your host, Jonathan Sprung, and co-host SFL CEO Zach Stanley and Nick Stablenko. The Star Fantasy League Show is on the air now.
Hello and welcome to the Star Fantasy League Show here on the Sports Byline USA Network. I am your host, Jonathan Sprung, joined, as always, by Teddy Bear 2 himself, Nick Stablenko.
You know, 1 point is all it takes. That's all it takes, Jonald.
The best
one
part,
point can crush my dreams.
The best part about daily fantasy sports is you can win by a single point and you can lose by a single point. Case in point, me and you.
Yeah, it was really funny last night. I was watching that because in the first half, you and I had completely different players. And then in the second game, the Houston game, we had the exact same players. So the game was over before the night was over.
I'll be honest, I was doing other things there. This is the first day of the NBA playoffs I have taken off from watching, and my brain may have exploded.
Yeah?
You know whose brain didn't explode because he actually takes in all this information, unlike me, is SFL family member Jason Gringer back again.
Back again.
It's your last day, though. You're done. Your days are numbered.
Should we just fire the man in the cage?
Why? Because he doesn't know that Jason exists? Is that a word to him?
I think he's aware of me by now.
He just doesn't care. You're so quiet. He's like, nah, he's fine. Nobody will notice. It's okay. Just put baby in the corner. It's fine.
Well, there you go.
Poor Jason. We'll remember you. Once you're off the show and Zach's back, that's when we'll get the voiceover guy to know your name.
Well,
we'll just get a segment for you on the Star Fantasy League show.
All right.
You won't even be here. That's fine.
Sounds good.
Although when we are getting more into baseball as the season continues and the playoffs are done for NBA and NHL, we're going to have you back on, obviously, for your plays of the day and your general MLB knowledge, because you're clearly more knowledgeable than any of the rest of us.
Well, that's very kind of you.
You know, I'm getting there, John. I am.
Oh, come on.
I put up 46 last night.
Ooh, knocking it out of the park.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's knocking it into the wall. Oh, I got the wall. All right, I'm almost there.
You know, it's stickball.
No, but you know what? What we're doing now is we are breaking down NBA lineups. Because, come on, we're good at that, right?
No, I'm not.
And we also got value plays of the day for Friday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. And above all else, we always have Jonald's mailbag. Who doesn't want to hear Jonald's mailbag?
Who doesn't want to talk about hockey? I know, you're right.
All right, coming after the break, we are breaking down NBA lineups for Thursday. And you'll see the Star Fantasy League show on the Sports Byline USA Network.
Now, let's get back to it. The Star Fantasy League Show. Feel free to tweet the show at SFL Show. Let's do this. Time for your Star Fantasy League's NBA Fantasy Lineup Breakdown.
Despite the fact that the man in the cage doesn't know Jason's name, we'll still give him a pass because he does a pretty good job.
Yeah, he does okay. I think you need to feed him some more crackers, though.
I believe in the Star Fantasy League's office we have no less than 170 packets of crackers that you put in your soup.
Nathan's.
Yeah. Okay, those of you listening in Rochester on 105.5, the team, if you've been to Nathan's, they give you an exorbitant amount of crackers, apparently.
They do a very good job
soups.
there. Yes.
Yeah, they have amazing soups.
Love it.
Yeah, apparently you guys go there every Wednesday. It's
And
soup. Too much soup.
They give you a different spoon for every soup you order, so you're not mixing and matching.
Exactly. That's
smart. That's a chef thing, because if they taste their food, you don't want to use in the same spoon. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
No mixing. We're not into that here. Come on now. No mixing soups. Terrible idea. All right, we're gonna get off these food topics because honestly I'm hungry. And it's not going to end well if the rest of the show we're just sitting here going, we're going to talk about food the rest of the time.
You know, I had the most delicious sandwich today, Jason.
Here we go.
It was really good.
More food talk.
From where?
It was from Cobb's Hill Pizza, actually.
Interesting.
What is this? This is a local Rochester advertisement for food?
It was, it was a cheeseburger bomber, they call it. Delicious. Absolutely off the charts.
All right, now we're actually moving on from food because seriously.
What about, I had a garbage plate for lunch.
No, you didn't actually have a garbage plate for lunch. Don't plug the real Rochester food.
Oh, I was dreaming, sorry.
Were you?
I had a salad.
Okay, you know what? We got some time. What's your favorite garbage plate in the city, Rochester?
I like Fairport Hots.
Penfield Hots.
Thank you. Yeah, Penfield Hots.
But that's what I grew up on.
2 feet from my house, which is nice. That's helpful. All right, this is shout out. Penfield Hots, 105.5 the team, if you're interested. They hear us. If you want to give us free stuff down at the Star Fantasy League's offices, we have no problem.
While we're
Shameless
breaking
pandering.
down delicacies,
Dogtown.
Yeah,
I was
Dogtown's
thinking,
great.
I was thinking maybe I would break down my delicate lineup of the day. But
Well, we're going to break you down when you
Yes,
break
yes, I
down your
know.
lineup. Got to
I'm
give
sure
a
you
spiel. $100,000 salary cap for NB on StarFantasyLeagues.com. 2 guards, 2 forwards, 2 center, 2 utility. It's any player you want. Got to stand under the cap. Get the most points. You win the most money. But if you lose by 1 point, don't feel too bad because I'm better than you.
you know, you have gotten that spiel down pretty nicely, John.
And I also count. You guys can't see me when I do it. I actually count down, so I know 2 guards, 2 forwards, 2 center, 2 utility. I do it every time. I'm weird.
What do you do? Can you show the people one more time?
Okay, if you're watching on nothing, here, look, see? Oh, no, nothing.
All right. Well, I will give you the real plays of today, starting with the guard spot.
Will you?
All right. So we talked about Klay Thompson. I have Klay Thompson in. He's been one of the most consistent in this series. So I think he's got a great value. He's still under 12,000. He's 11,761 on StarFantasyLeagues.com.
Yeah, his game has really evolved this year. It's his third year in the league. He's not just shooting jumpers and threes anymore. He's actually driving to the hole. He's very involved in the offense. He's actually shot only one less shot than Steph Curry in the series.
Yeah, I mean, that's really important for him to develop his game because they need. They're a team that really thrives at their guard play, so he needs to be an
Well,
important.
the most impressive part of his game in this series, I've noticed, anytime he gets the ball and Chris Paul is anywhere near him, he just backs him into the paint immediately. He doesn't even think about it. He's
That's
just like,
smart.
I'm going
That's
to back
very
you down.
smart.
I'm bigger than you.
That's good.
It's very
strategy.
smart. I actually don't have him tonight. It was between him and Andre Iguodala. And I
You like Igwo, huh?
I think the upside might be there with Andre Iguodala. Because Klay has been, like I say, he's the most solid, but Iggy's getting those minutes up. He's becoming the more dynamic AI2 we've been used to.
Yeah,
Is
I've got
that-
both.
You have both of them? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I couldn't end up fitting because I went with the Mike Miller route. Yeah.
I also
did?
went
Did you
Mike
really?
Miller.
Nice.
You
All right.
did?
Yeah. This is a very important game for this team. If they don't win this game, I don't think they're winning Game 7 in Oklahoma City. And if they're going to win this game, they need somebody to say it might be Courtney Lee, it might be Mike Miller, it might be Beno Udrih, but I have a feeling it's going to be Mike Miller.
All right, fair enough. Another team that has a pretty important Game 6 tonight, Atlanta. I have Jeff Teague. He's been phenomenal all series long. Still really cheap, in my opinion, 13,618.
I've kind of fallen off Teague.
Yes, actually, so have I.
His last 2 games haven't been that great. I think Indiana may have figured him out a little bit. His salary is probably a little too high for me to take at this
Yeah,
point.
not to mention the team. Yeah, with everyone that's available between 10 and 12,000, I think 13 is a little bit high, actually. Teague all year is frustrating because he's in the Mike Conley, like, weird twilight zone of salaries because you're like, I'd rather take a guy at 11 to 12,000 than put a little bit more money into a guy who's probably doesn't have the upside.
All right, fair enough.
Now he's going to have a huge game.
Of course he is, yeah. Jeff Teague.
Well-
Jeff Teague, way to go. But also, that Atlanta team has been a lot more balanced as the series goes on. Mike Scott's getting in there. Kyle Korver, Jamari Carroll, they're getting their offense. So Teague's kind of being more of a facilitator, and that's not really helping his fantasy.
But here's the thing, though, is that same deal. They need to win tonight if they're going to close the series.
Honestly,
out.
if they're
He's
gonna,
got the ball in
if
his
it's going to be
hands more
good,
than-
I think it's going to be Millsap that has the monster game.
Boom.
I don't have him, but I think it might
I've
be.
got
That's
it.
fine.
I went Sap.
Did you really?
I got him in
over
there.
Paul George.
No, I've got them both.
Oh my God! What do you have in your lineup?
Yeah,
How do you have
seriously,
both
what
of
do you
them?
got here?
Mike Miller really helped me out.
Yeah, that does help.
All
Actually, you know what? I can't lie. I went with 2 big guys too. I went with George and actually I went with 3: George, Gasol, and DeAndre Jordan.
I've got Jordan as well.
I did that. I did the exact route that you went. I have Paul George, DeAndre Jordan, Marc Gasol. I have Mike Scott in. I'm not very happy about that, but I had to get somebody there for value, and he's been showing up, so I'm going to go with him just so I can get those other guys in.
I mean, he's probably going to get around 20 minutes. Even
I mean,
when
we'll see, but for whatever reason, he's actually been contributing really well. So.
Yeah, when he had his big streak of like 5 3-pointers in the second quarter, I don't think he played again after that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, good, thanks for what you did. Now get out of the game.
What's his salary at?
He's at 69.67.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I would much rather have Mike Miller.
Why would you rather have Mike Miller? That guy is more inconsistent than anybody in that
It's not
series.
that he's
He is the most
inconsistent.
inconsistent player on that team.
He
is
gets
such a roller
consistent
coaster.
minutes, though.
Yeah,
The
that's
minutes are
Well, that's fine. Great. So what are they?
It's-
You really think you're going to be giving him the ball tonight?
It's all about flow. Yeah, I actually think
I
they will.
think they're going to be getting it to anybody but him tonight.
Oh, get out of here.
They're going to get the ball to Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol, and Mike Conley is going to play a bigger role than you think.
Maybe OKC's thinking the same thing, and then he gets open for those threes on the outside.
It's the
All
same
right,
thing
we'll
with, it's
see.
the same thing with Indy. It's like, why wouldn't you guard Kyle Korver? He's one of the best shooters in the game. And then 8 times a game, he's left wide open from three.
Mike Miller is half the shooter that Kyle
That's
Korver is.
not true at all. Mike Miller was Kyle Korver 5 years ago.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. What are we talking about? We're talking about 2014.
Oh, my God.
You're talking about this year, John. You are wrong.
There's one thing.
My second forward. Thank you. My turn. My second forward is going to be Harrison Barnes, and I know you're not going to like this, but
I love that you didn't even look at my face. 'Cause
I don't
you
need
knew
to because I know that
disagreed.
you don't like him. But when the Warriors have won, he has actually been a really big part of the series. His two best games came in 2 wins for the Warriors. I think they win tonight, and I think he plays a bigger role than they're going to give him credit for at the onset of this game.
Yeah, I've had him in the last couple of games. He's disappointed me a little bit. The first couple of games he was really huge. That was because of the foul trouble with Iguodala. But he is a pretty big playoff performer. He gets open for the threes. He can drive to the hoop. I don't mind him. He plays about 25 minutes.
And they've been playing small. Draymond Green's starting now. I actually, honestly, around the same price, I prefer Draymond. He's starting. He's getting the minutes.
I actually have him in, but his price has actually gone up considerably.
Well, yeah, that's because he's been putting up solid 20-point games, which means I still think he's the must. Him and Tony Allen are the two must. Do you have Tony Allen tonight?
That's my lineup. It's all filled out.
No Tony Allen?
No Tony Allen.
Oh, my God. What are you doing?
No Tony Allen.
All right. Please back me up here, Jason.
I agree. Listen, I'm telling you. I know where you're coming from, but it didn't work out that way.
We must have a similar lineup. I've got Tony Allen and Draymond Green in my lineup.
Okay. I want to know how you – read me your lineup real quick because I want to know how you managed to get in all of – you got in George, Millsap, and DeAndre Jordan?
Yeah. I've got Clay, Iguodala, Paul George, Draymond Green, Millsap, DeAndre Jordan, Tony Allen, and Mike Miller.
Wow.
Sounds like a winning lineup right there.
I'll be honest. Your lineup is –
Sounds like it's not. Mike Miller is not going to do anything.
Oh, my.
I'm telling you right now. We can put an SFL bet on it if you want.
Is it Mike Miller versus
Mike Miller
Mike
will
Scott?
not. He will not. He will not have a good game.
All right. Collectively, Jason and I are going to put our Mike Miller against your Mike Scott. How about that? Battle of the Mikes.
I'm not taking that.
What? He's 13.
I don't have a lot of confidence in Mike Scott. I put him in there for one reason only, because he allowed me to put in players that I do
Yeah,
like.
but he
that's why we
costs
have Mike
okay.
Miller.
He costs more. We're doing less for Mike
fine.
Miller.
I know. I'm not betting Mike Scott against him. I'll let you guys, if you want to put a figure on it, if you want to put a figure on Mike Miller tonight, I'll go off of that. We'll do an over-under, but that's all I'll go.
He puts up a big talk. This is what happens in the Star Fantasy League show. Nick puts out these bets as like, oh, I'm so confident, and then you say you have a retract. And Nick's like, nope.
I didn't retract anything.
You basically
I
you said,
didn't
I will
retract
bet you,
anything.
and then immediately
I said I will. I will bet you on over-under.
15 points.
All right.
Oh, wow.
I'll take it. I'll
big.
take it. Under 15.
All right, we got 15 over-under for Mike Miller on the Star Fantasy League show. Coming out of the break, it is time for Jonald's mailbag, and we may have more gambling-related things to talk about. Who knows? You never know. All right, you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on the Sports Byline USA Network.
The Star Fantasy League show. Information is key to being a successful fantasy team owner, and the guys have all the updated info you need right now. Okay, fantasy sports fans.
There's a letter in your mailbox.
Time to dig into Jonald's mailbag for your questions and comments.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Jump in the game. Send your questions and comments to the Star Fantasy League's team by tweeting at SFL Show.
It's time for the mailbag.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Really. You should try out for a choir.
I just want to be recognized for my voice. That's all I care about
That's
in life.
all you care about in
That's
life?
why I'm on the radio. I just want people to hear my voice and then go, wow, that guy's talented. Just
gonna
because
get-
of his voice.
We're going to get you to American Idol, and then we're going to tape it, and we're going to sell that for a lot of money
Yeah,
because I know
probably.
people are going to want to buy that.
Seth Young, his life goal is to go to an American Idol audition just to be a complete tool and just do stupid things.
Yeah, but I think you have to get through to that point to make it happen.
He doesn't care.
Eventually, yeah, but I mean, there's pre-screening to the pre-screening to the
he'll
pre-screening.
figure out a way. He'll just.
That's kind of a sad lifetime goal.
I know, right? I told him that. He's like, that's my favorite show.
What
I
about
love it.
just like getting on Survivor or something? That
would be my life
That
goal.
would be cooler.
I want to get on Big Brother. That's kind of my thing.
Oh, my
Anybody?
God.
Shout out.
Big Brother is awesome.
Yeah, I like Big Brother.
Oh,
We love Big Brother.
Shout out to Billy Body. He was on Big Brother UK season 8 or something like that.
wow.
It's a buddy of ours, friend of the show.
You know that. That's even better.
He's on our show.
It doesn't matter.
How would I not know that? He says he brags about it all the time. It made him like a villain in Britain.
Oh,
it's
all
kind of
right, I
funny.
didn't know that.
Yeah, awkward.
That's still weird.
I agree, it is weird, but I want to get on the show. Come on.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
No, it would not.
Let's
It
do
is-
it. Let's
it
do
is
an
terrible
SFL
for the youth
version.
of America.
You are terrible for the youth of America.
Well,
Reality
but at
TV.
least I admit it.
All right, you know what? I did something different today for John Allen's mailbag. I got your question in first, so you can have as much time as you want with
Yay.
it. Because it was a big night in the NHL, so we're
was
getting
huge.
straight to it. Jimmy B writes, the first round of the NHL playoffs delivered in a big way, with 2 road teams winning in Game 7,
Unreal.
1 overtime, and a team coming back down 0-3 in the series. What does the second round hold in store for fans?
Yeah, that last night, I needed a Red Bull and some time to myself last night. That was phenomenal. The next round...
Long night for you?
Yes, long night for me. The next round is going to be even better. We have one of the oldest rivalries in the NHL in the Bruins-Habs series. The Kings and Ducks series is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to see that. Rangers and Penguins, and then Chicago and Minnesota. Chicago and Minnesota, they actually played last year. Yep. Chicago won 5 games, or in 5 games, excuse me. And then this season, Minnesota actually holds the season series edge. So it's interesting. We'll see where this is going to go.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned, but at least the Blackhawks got home ice thanks to the Minnesota winning. That was huge.
You're right.
I believe I called that. I believe I did say
yes, you did. You're right.
on the show on Wednesday. I said
You're
the
right.
Wild. I'm the only one who picked the Wild.
Yes, you were. That's true.
Yeah, love the original 6 matchups too. Canadians and Bruins going to be huge. And Penguins Rangers also a good one. Is Sidney Crosby or Rick Nash going to score a goal in the series?
Yeah, I know. That's actually a great question. I don't know. I think Crosby will eventually. I think he will eventually, but it's really telling that the Penguins are able to have offense without him putting a goal on the board. He had 6 assists in the series, so he was obviously a contributing factor.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes, though. You know what I was thinking about today? How would you feel if you were Henrik Lundqvist? You're one of the best goalies year in and year out, and right at the other end of the ice is Marc-Andre Fleury, one of the worst playoff goalies in the past decade, who actually has a Stanley Cup ring, and you haven't even been to the finals yet. I would hate to be in that situation.
That's the matchup to watch, and this is Fleury against Lundqvist, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I would also say that anything to do with the Ducks and Kings series is worth
that's going to be
watching.
crazy in L.A. Huge series.
Yeah, definitely.
No travel.
Ryan Getzlaf is going to be up for the Conn Smythe if the Ducks win this series. Obviously it always goes to somebody that's in the Stanley Cup Finals, but his name will be in the discussion. What he did in the first round, you can't look past it.
I'm very impressed. You had some good restraint not talking about the 3 games last night. There was a lot to talk about.
Well, you asked me what I thought about the second round.
And I also brought up the
all right, I can talk about last night, Minnesota, how they won that game was not only historic, it was just plain amazing.
They were on the road, in overtime.
But the history of it, they were the first team to ever tie the game 4 times and win in a Game 7. That is, I mean, it seems like an obscure stat, but listen to that. They were down 4 times and came back to win that game.
And it was pretty crazy because they didn't score the first goal in the game, which broke a huge streak of the team scoring first wins Game 7, which was like 18 or 19 straight or something like that.
Yeah. Semyon Varlamov didn't show up for that game. It was unfortunate.
No, my boy.
I was expecting something. He needed to bring something special. Big question moving forward for the Wild, though, who's going to be in goal because Darcy Kemper left the game with a head injury. Yeah. So Ilya Beskala might have to come back in net. That doesn't bode well for them going against Chicago. Yeah. I like what Kemper did. He was really good.
And the Sharks actually did score first as well.
Yeah, they did, but oh my goodness. They
didn't score again.
They looked like they gave up going into the third period. Yeah. They really did. They were down 2-1, and then they just looked like they didn't care coming into the third. And this is so typical of this team. It's just I asked a question last night. What fans have it worse? The Buffalo Sabres fans or the San Jose Sharks fans? Would you rather never have a shot to begin with, or would you rather get there every single season with a chance knowing you're going to fall short?
You said it right there. You're a Red Sox fan. That's the same thing 10 years ago, what we had. You always make it to the playoffs. You never get to the dance. You just lose. You just know you're going to lose every time.
Yeah. So,
same thing.
So who has it worse?
I think being there.
It's pretty.
You think so?
It's pretty miserable. Getting to the conference finals, getting to the finals of anything. It's just like, oh God. Oh,
yeah, they haven't even made it to the Cup finals.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and the Sabres, the last time they were in the Cup, we all know how that ended with that
Although, well, we could go on about that for a long time.
You could go on for that for a long time, but I'm going to cut you off because that's what I do. That's my hosting duties.
That's fine.
All right, moving on. Sammy S. writes, apparently Heisman Trophy winner Jameis Winston was cited for stealing crab legs from a supermarket. Is this the weirdest story you've heard about a future millionaire?
I just want to know, was he running away from the store screaming, I got crab, I got crab? No?
Crabs.
I don't think that's how it goes. All right. Can we just say that apparently winning the Heisman Trophy in the past 2 years is just a giant curse on your life? Like Johnny Manziel kind of his life was all over the place.
Well, that's a heck of a curse. I'd like to be cursed with a model for a girlfriend and all sorts of courtside tickets and free golf and this and that. Sounds like a terrible curse.
This is freaking hilarious, though, because usually you hear about people getting like cited for like domestic abuse or like drug or gun possession.
Yeah.
And now you got crab possession.
This one's just crab possession. But the best part is his explanation was just, oh, I forgot to pay. Like, do you not understand how supermarkets work? Like, you go in, when you walk in, there's registers. You pay at them. You don't just go in, grab. You had to, like, ask somebody for the crab legs, clearly, and, like, he just walked out.
Perhaps he paid in smiles. He just walked past.
He paid with autographs, and the NCAA is going to investigate him and throw him out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure the NCAA will come in and figure out some way to make this an enormous deal.
My favorite part of the story is they banned him they suspended him from the baseball team, but not the football team, because God forbid you suspend the winning quarterback in the national championship.
Why are you suspending him at all? If it came down from the coach, fine. I don't know who it came down from, but if the NCAA or if the school or whatever. Okay, so let me say, a regular student goes into the store and they steal crab legs. Are you going to suspend them from school?
It has nothing to do with the school.
It has nothing to do with the school. Nothing to do with the school. But because he's a public figure, of course, somebody is going to say, well, you should punish him. No, stop. Like, you know what my coach would have done? He would have said, okay, you know what you get to do? You get to run for the rest of practice.
Can we just agree that the best part of this are the internet memes?
Absolutely. Oh, 100%.
There's a lot of good stuff. Yeah.
They're unbelievable.
I hope that follows him. I hope somehow his nickname in the NFL is something to do with crabs. That would be amazing.
My personal favorite was where they were interviewing the lobster. That was unbelievable.
No. This story could continue. We could talk about this for the next 8 days. But our favorite person in the history of sports was in the news today. We have to talk about it.
Oh my God,
Jacob G. writes, Mike D'Antoni stepped down as head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, avoiding the inevitable after next season. What parting words do you have for dear old Mike?
Ladies and gentlemen, on today's Daily D'Antoni, we have Mike D'Antoni making a good choice
in his life
for somebody else.
You know what the funny thing is? The person that hates him the most is not here.
I know, I was going to say.
Zach will probably be on the show tomorrow. Who knows? He might not be. He might be stuck in Miami. I'm not really even sure.
Yeah, he made a good choice for himself and for all of our daily fantasy sports players.
Yep.
Maybe we'll actually know the Lakers lineups next year.
Yeah, not 2 minutes before the game. Maybe not in the game.
Maybe he'll talk to his players, you know.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I completely forgot about that Chris Kaman thing where, I don't know if I'm starting. D'Antoni doesn't talk to me.
He doesn't talk to me anymore.
Also interesting is Kobe next year, who the coach might be. Or is Kobe going to be the
player coach?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That'd be. Well, okay. Let's think about it here.
I guess you might as well.
Well, they want Peyton Manning, kind of.
Yeah, they want to make a splash in free agency. It's probably not going to happen this year. People are talking about the Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Love combo in 2 years. Let's be honest. If you want to do that, you don't hire a coach now. You wait 1 year. You do the interim coach for a year, because that team's not going to win next year. There's absolutely no chance that team wins.
No, and the question of I think the question floating out there about Kobe Bryant having input.
He 100% has input.
He absolutely does, but should he? I don't think he should. He's not going to be there that much longer. He's getting.
It's Kobe. He might be there another 5 to 10 years,
and then the Lakers will continue to be mediocre for another 5 to 10 years. He's at the twilight of his career. This is it. This is the end.
Yeah, he's making MVP money when he shouldn't be.
He's not the MVP anymore. He is a great player. He is an enormous piece to that puzzle next year. But he shouldn't have any input as to who the coach is, because it's not going to benefit them down the line. It's just not. There's no reason for it.
It has to be. I don't know. If they're going in a different direction in this whole rebuilding process, which LA fans are not going to like, you have to go with a young guy. I've heard some weird names thrown, like Kevin Ollie's name is being thrown out there. The guy just started coaching in college. He's not even 3 years into his career.
As soon as you win a national championship, your name gets thrust in the spotlight. I don't agree with it, but yeah.
I heard Derek Fisher's name tossed out there. We're getting ex-players. We're getting college coaches. We're getting just weird names.
It worked out with Kidd.
He's not even an ex-player.
Who?
Fisher.
Well, he's going to be
ex of the Lakers, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, sorry, ex-Laker player. He's still in the league. He's actually still playing in the playoffs. Probably not after tonight, though. They're going to be done.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I'm calling Memphis. I called it. Yeah, I said on Wednesday's show. I said Memphis is going to win Game 6. I am very excited. I am honestly really excited to see Memphis again, doing some damage in the playoffs. I actually really like that team.
Yeah, I do too. They're a grinder team. They work hard. They're the blue collar team.
That's why they call the house they play in is the Grindhouse. It's the Grindhouse for a reason.
Good for them.
Damn you, Tony Allen, and your good defense. All right, coming up, we are doing our value plays, NBA, MLB, NHL for Friday. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on the Sports Byline USA Network.
Play fantasy sports for cash prizes. Join the top daily and weekly fantasy leagues in the country at starfantasyleagues.com. Now, back to the Star Fantasy League show with Jonathan, Zach, and Nick. Only on the team.
Man, one of these days, he's going to get it right.
And I won't be here.
That's true. The day that voiceover Cage Man gets it right is the day that Jason Gringer is no longer on the Star Fantasy League show. Oh. It's very depressing. I told you, we're going to get your own segment. We're going to have an introduction for you, and you're not going to be here. It's going to be really sad.
Sounds about right.
You know what isn't sad, though? We have lots of sports to talk about, lots of value plays for fantasy to give out on starfantasyleagues.com. And as always, we're starting with MLB. Jason, what do you got?
Well, we'll start off with the batter tomorrow.
No.
Friday, May 2nd.
Thank you.
Friday, May
wow, that
2nd.
was right off the top of your head. You knew that. Well, today's the 1st. That makes sense. I would have been like, Tuesday the 18th. I never know what day it is. It's really depressing.
All right, I'm going with Mr. Tiger, Miguel Cabrera, coming in at 6,700. This could also be a value pick. He's pretty low on the first base rankings on Star Fantasy Leagues because he hasn't had a great start. He's coming on lately. He's going against James Shields, who in his career he's hitting .419 against, and also a 1.2 OPS, 7 doubles, 2 homers, 7 RBI, 4 walks, only 6 strikeouts in 50 plate appearances.
Oh, wow. That's a big sample size.
He doubled off him on opening day. Shields hasn't been great in his career against Detroit. I like the pick.
I mean, Miggy is always a great pick to me.
Yes,
I know he hasn't been great this year, but...
Especially at the break. Because last season, I believe at the end of the season, he was up to almost 12,000, I think, on StarFantasyLeagues.com. So, if you can get him under 7,000.
Yeah, that's like double his current salary.
Correct.
All right, moving on to the pitcher of the day. It's probably no surprise. King Felix Hernandez going against Houston. And you got to consider the starting pitcher opponents. There's a lot of good guys going on pitching on the mound tomorrow. I was looking at Strasburg going against Philly, but he's up against Cliff Lee, which is going to be a tough matchup.
That's brutal.
Anyways, in the last start against Houston, King Felix went 7 innings, allowed 2 runs. He did allow a home run, only had 4 strikeouts, but it's still a decent matchup. Houston has the second most strikeouts in the league, only 3 behind the White Sox.
Are they going to pull that off again? Are they going to just be one of the worst batting orders in the major leagues?
I think they already are pulling it off.
Are they going to pull it off? They're already there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Opening day happened.
King Felix, man. King Felix is still... Are they ever going to get a shot at a postseason bid?
Well, they spent enough money this offseason.
No kidding.
Brought in Cano, Corey Hart, ton of big names, but the West is such a tough division. Got my A's in there. Angels spend a ton of money. The Rangers spend a ton of money.
Yeah, that's a division. That's rivaling the AL East in just like egregious spending.
Yeah,
they're just like, you know what? We have $1 billion combined. They probably have spent that much just between the 4 teams. Just throw money out there.
Yep.
See what happens.
They don't mind spending money, but they don't make the postseason.
Yeah, their fans must love that. The Angels haven't made the postseason since they've done that, have they?
They haven't made it in quite a while.
Yeah,
they brought in Hamilton, Pujols. Yeah, didn't work out so well.
Yeah, so the Rangers are like, let's get rid of all these players. Oh, we still make the playoffs every year. Oops.
All right, value play of the day tomorrow is Ryan Rayburn for the Indians going against John Danks and the White Sox. He's a minimum salary. He's a platoon guy. He normally faces left-handed pitchers. In his career against Danks, he's got 5 doubles, 3 homers, 9 RBI. A few weeks ago, he faced Danks. He went 2 for 3 with an RBI. Lock him in as value guy.
Yeah, when he got his number, you got his number. For a minimum salary guy to have that much history against Danks,
even when people were struggling. We said Prince Fielder about a week ago was kind of in a slump. Went up against a guy who was 4 for 8 with a couple home runs and just knocked him around.
Boom.
Yep.
It's usually what happens.
All right, we've got a stack alert for you as well.
Stack alert. Again, stack means you're taking a bunch of people from the same team, usually going against one pitcher.
Yeah, in Star Fantasy Leagues, you can only take 4 guys from the same team.
Correct. We don't want you taking their entire lineup.
Yep.
That would be bad for you.
Who do you think my stack is tomorrow?
You act like
Any
I pay
guesses?
attention.
You're not going to like it. It's Oakland. Going against Boston.
Okay, not only are we not going to like it because you went with Oakland, we're not going to like it because you went against our team.
But here's the reasoning.
You're the worst.
They're facing Clay Buchholz. This guy should probably be down in the minors. He hasn't looked great this year. He's got a 6.66 ERA, 1.75 whip. He's only walked 6 guys, but he's allowed 40 hits in 25 innings pitched.
Wait, hold on. I don't know baseball, but that's not good, right?
No, I have a feeling that Clay may need to go back to running his fingers through his hair.
I was just going to say, I think his hair's not looking greasy enough this season. Can we fix that, guys?
It really was right up until that point last season.
Yeah. Anyways, the A's are coming off a sweep in Texas where they put up a ton of runs, outscored Texas 25-4. High-end guys to target on the A's: Brandon Moss, Coco Crisp, Jed Lowry, value guy Josh Reddick. Guess what? All these guys are former Red Sox players.
Ooh.
Yes, they are.
Is that why you didn't mention Yoenis Cespedes?
Well, he's a righty.
He's been kind
All
of
these other
struggling,
guys are
hasn't he, a
lefties and
little
switch
bit?
hitters. Yeah, he's been injured, but
How about Josh Donaldson? That guy's been off the chain this year.
yeah, he was like fourth in the MVP voting last year. Totally, killing it.
Yeah, he's
Killing
having a
it.
fantastic season.
You killed baseball, you killed the value, you killed all of it, but we got to move on to hockey. Only 2 games on the schedule for Friday, but it's the second round. It's a whole new beast. Big matchups happening.
Absolutely.
Get it. Break it down for us.
All right. We're going to start with Minnesota at Chicago. Minnesota, they just came off a big win last night. Chicago, they disposed of the Blues in 4 straight after losing the first 2 in OT. So they look a lot like they did last year when they won the Stanley Cup. So we'll see what happens. They might be on another run. Can I change my pick now since the Sharks are out?
Yes, you can.
All right.
No.
All right.
I know you're going to go with Corey Crawford again.
Yes, I am.
That's your entire life. Your life is picking Corey Crawford.
He's been the best. In my opinion, he's been the best value in the entire playoffs for a goalie. You could look at Darcy Kemper if he plays, but again, he's injured, so I think he's one of the best values.
Yeah, if you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show during the NHL playoffs, and you've been on Corey Crawford like Nick, you're winning.
Well, he really stepped it up after the first 2 games of the series. He was huge.
Even in the first 2 games, he put up fantasy points.
He did.
He was solid in net. The first game was the triple OT game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that just spoke for itself. So really, the only game that he had that was an off game may have been game 2. He's going to lead them. Taves and Kane are leading the way once again in the playoffs. These 2 have been unbelievable. They're leading the team in points. All but 2 Blackhawks notched a point in the first round. That shows their depth. They are a very deep team. They have strong play from the blue line from Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook, who hopefully won't get suspended this series. We'll see what happens. On the other side, Captain Zach Parise, if they find a way to beat this team, he will be a Conn Smythe candidate. He's been phenomenal. They need to keep playing the same frustrating style of hockey, though. They need to keep blocking shots. So some of their defensemen, like Jared Spurgeon, he's a good option because they get in front of the puck, they block it, you get points for block shots. So last year, Chicago took the Wild out in 5 games. I'm going to give the Wild a little bit more credit this time around. I'll go Chicago in 6, going to the Western Conference Finals.
You gave him 2 wins as opposed to 1.
I'm sorry, Chicago's on a roll. They are on a roll.
You think Minnesota has no chance in this, right?
I disagree. I didn't say that.
Well, in 6, I'm assuming you don't think they have a chance.
Because I just like the way that everything's going to line up for Chicago.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
Both on. You know what? I had a friend she's a Flyers fan. She's like, who do I cheer for now? I hate everybody in the East. I was like, you know what? Get on the Minnesota bandwagon. So
Why
she's on
not?
the
Yeah,
Minnesota.
that's a feel-good story. So.
I'm on the Minnesota bandwagon as well.
Yeah, there you go. So my skater is going to come from that game as well. It's going to be Patrick Kane. He's on fire. He finished the Blues series with 3 goals and 3 assists. And in 4 games against the Wild this season, he has 3 goals and 2 assists. Nobody's hotter than him right now.
Kaner.
So, Kaner on their way. So the other game that we have is Rangers at Penguins. The season series for that is at 2-2. And this is their first playoff meeting since 2008. Penguins won that one en route to going to the Stanley Cup Finals, where they lost to the Red Wings, but it is what it is. The Penguins had their hands full in their last series against the Blue Jackets. I was very surprised about that. Hats off to the Blue Jackets on a great season, but I still attribute a lot of that to Marc-Andre Fleury being terrible in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's bad.
He's bad. He is. He's always bad. The Penguins have found scoring at all levels from Brian Gibbons, Bo Bennett, Jussi Jokinen. Malkin had a hat trick in Game 6. That was the first time that we really heard from Evgeny Malkin or Sidney Crosby. Either way, they're still good on offense. A lot of their offense has come from their defense, from Matt Niskanen, Paul Martin on the power play. I see the Rangers being able to shut them down a little bit, though. They play a really good defensive style of hockey. Dan Girardi and Ryan McDonough will be all over the Crosby line. And I got the Rangers in 6.
Ooh.
I got the Rangers winning at home.
Rangers Bruins in the finals? East finals?
I have the Rangers and the Canadians.
Oh, my. You're the worst. All right. We got to get to basketball real quick. We got 3 games going on. We actually did this same set of 3 games 2 days ago. We did the same thing. It's a lot of the same guys we like. But I want to talk about this Houston-Portland game only because Houston went big. which changes this series completely. LaMarcus Aldridge was very frustrated in Game 5. Had a lot of trouble at his first bad game of the series.
Yeah, I think Houston's got a great bench. They've got a lot of guys that rotate in and out, and Portland probably has the thinnest bench of any team.
Correct.
Going right now.
Last season, they were considered one of the worst benches in like NBA history. They had
got,
nobody.
like Mo Williams. Who
yes,
else?
correct. And Joel Freeland. There you go. Yeah. It's not a good bench.
So yeah, Houston's definitely got the advantage with the depth. Can they win the next 2 games? We'll see. I mean, they could. The first few games went to overtime, so it was definitely a close series.
I mean, would you pull most of your value from this game again? Like last time we talked about when these 3 matchups were, it was a lot from this game. The big names, obviously Howard, all his games have been over 40 fantasy points on StarFantasyLeagues.com. He's still only 18,700, which is 2,000 less than LaMarcus Aldridge. I'm actually shying away from Aldridge because Houston's going big.
Yeah, I didn't take Aldridge either. I've got Dwight in, though.
Yeah, Dwight has to be the play of the day, right?
Yeah, I love him.
Kind of has to be the play of the day. But I wouldn't shy away because Aldridge is taking up all his – everyone's kind of just like swarming around him. Lillard's been a beast in this series. He's really made the step. This is his first playoffs. It's only his second season, and he's clearly already a top guy.
Yeah, he almost had a triple-double last game. 26 points, 8 boards, 7 assists, 4 steals.
Yep.
Huge game.
Yeah, 15,396. He's a must. Another guy that I absolutely love in this series is Nick Batum, a little bit less than Lillard. I think if you can fit in a combination of Howard, Lillard, and Batum, you're doing pretty good.
And Wes Matthews, really, the last 2 games. He doesn't get a lot of boards and assists.
He doesn't do
when
flashy
he's scoring,
things. Yeah.
He's a nice play.
Yeah, that's I don't like people who don't fill. It's like,
that's the only risk. That's a huge risk.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we got to talk about Trey Daniels again. He only got 9.75 fantasy points, but he's basically the minimum. He's under. Yeah, he's basically nothing. It's 34.84.
Yeah, as low as you can get, pretty much.
Yeah, it allows you to put in the big names.
It does.
All right, we got 2 other matches we have to talk about. San Antonio, Dallas. This is a game. San Antonio's up 3-2. Dallas is at home. Need to win. I think this is the Dirk game.
Dirk finally showed up last game.
Yep.
He had 26 points, 15 boards.
That's what I'm saying. I think he had 40 fantasy points. I think he's the kind of guy that this is the game he needs to step up big.
Are you taking Dallas to win this game?
Yeah, I think Dallas could win.
I mean, if that's your sentiment, then yeah, Dirk's going to be the guy that gets it done.
Yeah, this is the last hurrah for this Dallas team. I don't expect them to win this series. I think they've already kind of shown what they have, but
I just don't know if I see it going 7.
Even if it doesn't go 7, Dirk's going to put up a fight. This is not going to be a blowout. I feel like this could be Dirk time. Obviously, Dallenberry kind of came back to earth a little. He's under 10,000. I think Splitter is the value in this game, though.
Definitely.
Yeah. He's been amazing. 10,310. 4 of the 5 games so far, he's been over value, and Manu has been amazing.
Yeah, Splitter had 17 points, 12 boards, 5 assists the last game. Huge.
Yeah.
And Manu off the bench. Come on, he's putting up 30 points a game, 30 fantasy points a game. I did see the Spurs were -1 when he was on the floor, though, last game.
Yeah, those stats are kind of skewed. They're usually skewed. All right, the last game we got to talk about real quickly is Toronto at Brooklyn. Again, Grievous Vasquez, best value play. I love Grievous.
How about Toronto blowing that 26-point lead?
Yeah, that's crazy.
In the fourth quarter.
And still winning.
Yeah. The last play of the game was crazy. Where
holding on.
J-Val almost goaltended the half-court shot.
Yeah, that combination, Patterson, Amir Johnson, and Valanciunas, I'm staying away from them because the minutes are all over the place. It's just who's going to get the minutes, who's going to get the production. It scares me.
For Brooklyn, Teletovic last game, huge. 17 points, 7 boards, and they were plus 31 with him on the floor.
Yeah. During the regular season, I was all over Mirza when he had the time to play with KG out and a bunch of other people out. But we got to go Paul Pierce, Joe Johnson, that whole team. I feel like Paul Pierce, this is a clutch game for them. They need to win. Are we going with just Dwight Howard as a play of the day? You got one.
I like Dwight. Dirk, maybe.
All right, you go with Dirk. I'll go with Dwight. Coming back, we're recapping all our value plays on StarFantasyLeagues.com. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on the Sports Byline USA Network.
You're listening to the Star Fantasy League show. Contact the StarFantasyLeagues.com guys via Twitter at SFL Show.
That is right. We're back on the Star Fantasy League show. Tweet us at SFL Show. If you'd like to have your voices heard, send us your voicemails. We just want to hear your voice.
Tweet.
Yes, just tweet. Don't do anything else. Just tweet us.
Yeah, don't even think. Just tweet.
All right. You're going to tweet us because we're going to give you our value plays. We're recapping everything for MLB, NHL, and NBA for Friday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. Starting out in MLB, Jason likes Miguel Start Slow Cabrera because he's super cheap.
Miggity, miggity.
Yep. And he's also pretty much a value play, what, 6,800 around there?
Yeah, Zach's boy.
Yep. And King Felix, everybody's boy, because, come on, he's going to strike out maybe 140 Houston batters, right?
Yeah, I just want him to get on a team where they actually have a shot.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I know, but he deserves it that much.
Potentially?
He is amazing.
He's signed for quite a long
Yeah,
time. in Seattle
he's
now.
there. Him and Cano are the face of the franchise for a while.
Good for them.
They're
Unless
there.
He's traded.
Who do you like? Who's your value play?
Ryan Rayburn, Cleveland.
Okay, great. All right, moving on. NHL. Your team. I don't want you to mention your stack. That's why I moved on, because it's your team. We're going to mention Jason's team again in the NHL. Nick is all over the Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, yeah. Corey Crawford coming in hot and Pat Kane having another run.
God, this is just like the build Jason's ego show.
Listen, Pat Kane has avoided taxi cabs for quite some time now, and he is on the straight and narrow.
He's got his playoff mullet going.
Yes. Oh,
as
my
usual.
God. Have you seen that thing? That's worse than Melrose. Like, way worse than Melrose.
It's
Don't say
awesome.
worse than Melrose has a beautiful mullet. We will stop
Okay,
that.
but it is okay. I'm talking about Melrose back when he coached for the
Oh,
Kings.
okay.
That
All right.
mullet,
Yeah,
that
right.
thing was out of control.
And in the NBA, we're basically closing out the first round of the playoffs. Dwight Howard is the absolute play of the day, and also take a look at Dirk Nowitzki in a closeout game. He's got to play big to keep Dallas in the playoffs.
Yep.
We still got playoffs going on StarFantasyLeagues.com. NBA, NHL every day. Free rolls in all three sports. We got $50 free rolls on Tuesday and Thursday. And guess what you have to do?
Nothing.
You just tweet us. Nothing. Oh, my God. You are a terrible person. You tweet us.
I am not a bad person, John.
You tweet us
I am
at
a
SFL
bad
Show. You're a bad mamma jamma.
I'm a bad horse.
Tweet us at SFL Show with your username if you're a new sign-up on StarFantasyLeagues.com. We'll just put $5 free in your account. We have sign-up bonuses. We got deposit bonuses. We have everything going on. And I have something for you, since you just dissed my man.
Why, thank you.
If you don't appreciate Barry Melrose's mullet, we'll help you make a better lineup next time. Take it easy, guys.